Hi everyone, this is Mindy Egan. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how to use the Hero Arts letterpress plates in partnership with Spellbinders. If you are not familiar with these, the letterpress plates are paired with the Letterpress Better Press system to create an elegant letterpress look. Now, before I get started, I wanted to share with you some of the plates that have recently come out with Hero Art. I'll be using the Happy Birthday sentiment, but we also have another sentiment set. We have a wreath and then also a beautiful floral arrangement. You can see already that these plates look a little bit different than you have a cover plate or a glimmer plate. Now, one of the best things about this is if you already have a glimmer system, you can use these letterpress plates to also hot foil these designs as well. I won't be going over that in this video today. Right now, I'm just going to focus on how to use the letterpress better press system. A few other things that I wanted to share with you is Spellbinders has these Better Press cotton card panels. They have a few different shades of these cardstock and also in a variety of sizes. Now we're going to take a look at the letterpress system. So this is the system that you'll need to do your letterpress designs. I apologize, mine is kind of dirty because it is well loved. So this top piece here, this clear plate, has these markings on them for an A2 size card panel and also an A7, and these are US sizes. That top piece, that clear plate, is called the plantain. And then our bottom piece is called the magnetic chase. So it is a magnetic work surface, and you can see that it is going to hold our plate in place very well. It's going to give you that ability to adjust it without sliding all over. Now, I placed it within that A2 size. You can see the lines on that chase, the magnetic chase, that I placed the design on facing up. Now I'm taking my cardstock panel and I'm going to line it up with the matching line. So I'm doing both A2 here. And I know a little hard to see on the black glass mat that I'm working on, but I'm lining it up within those lines of that A2 size. I held the corners down with some Best Ever craft tape, and now I'm going to ink this up. A few things I wanted to cover with the inking is you really want to do more of a twist and turn or a twist and dab kind of inking process. If you take your ink pad and kind of drag it over the design, you could risk fraying the ink pad. Now, I know I am using Spellbinders inks and cardstock today, but you can also, and I do encourage you to experiment with your Hero Arts cardstocks and inks. Once my design is inked up, I took that plate, I flipped it over so my cardstock panel is facing the plate, and then I'm running this through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cut machine. And I'll be doing all of these steps once again a little later on when I start creating the card. So here I'm just removing that plate, and you can see we have this gorgeous impression with this wild berry inking that I did. And how fun is that happy birthday design? I absolutely love it. Now, because the ink I used is from Spellbinders, it is an archival formulation, so I will be using an archival cleaner to clean off my plate. Here I'm just carefully removing that Best Ever craft tape that was holding the corners down because we really want our cardstock secured to that plate. Now I'm going to bring in that archival ink cleaner. As far as cleaning products, I do what Spellbinders recommends because they're the ones that have run through all of the testing for that. If you have specific questions as far as a cleaning product, I recommend contacting Spellbinders. I like to do what they recommend because they have found the best way to do things. So I just dabbed that cleaner onto the plate and I'm rubbing that off with a cloth. Now, I know some people prefer not to clean their plate, and that is perfectly fine if you plan on not changing your colors. But I know for this particular card project I'm going to be doing, I will be using this plate and switching colors. So now I'm going to actually work on a card to use this sentiment, and I will be doing all of those letterpress steps again so you can see it once more. I am going to create a birthday card, and I'm taking the candles background stamp, and I'm going to be stamping this onto some Paradise cardstock. I want to go for a tone-on-tone look, so I removed the foam insert from my Misty stamping tool, and I have my Paradise cardstock here that I like to put a little bit of repositionable tape on the back, place it on the stamp, and then close my Misty backwards. So my cardstock is exactly where I want it to be, and there's no guessing game. I'm taking the Paradise ink from Hero Arts. I'm going to ink up my background stamp really well and stamp that down. You could also use the embossing and watermark ink for the same technique. So my plan is to create a frame using this background that I just created. So here I'm just using that happy birthday plate as a guide, and I brought out my infinity rectangles or the nesting rectangles, trying to find one that was about the right size. So once I found one that kind of fit my sentiment, I'm going to center that on the front of this cardstock panel, hold that down with some tape, and then I'm going to die cut it out. So it's going to create an opening in the center, which is where I plan on putting the sentiment. Once I run this through my die cut machine, you're going to see that it's going to create this frame or this window. So now I'm taking one of those porcelain cotton card panels and I placed my frame over the top. I just needed to get an idea how this was all going to look. Now I'm bringing back in my letterpress system. I took my cotton card panel and I'm holding it down in those markings with the best ever craft tape, taping down those corners because we want our cardstock to stay secure. Now I brought in that frame over on my chase as a guide, and I'm lining it up within that A2 size grid line. I placed my sentiment in there, so we always want to make sure that our letters are facing up so that we can ink it up. And I love that it's magnetic so that I can straighten it out with the grid lines that's on the chase. Now for this one, I am using teal topaz ink. This is the archival ink formulation from Spellbinders. I flipped my plate over, so my paper is facing my inked up plate. We don't want them to touch. What happens when we run it through the Spellbinders Platinum 6 is it's going to, I guess, kind of squish those two together, press them together, which is going to create that letterpress look. So it has kind of that embossed design in there, but with ink. I decided that the frame that I die cut out was just a little bit too small. I really wanted to get in those pretty swirls that's around the sentiment. So I just went in, picked out another size rectangle a step up, and die cut that out so my window was a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to just add some foam tape behind the back of my frame and I'll add that to the front of the card. So while I'm doing that, a couple things I wanted to talk to you about is I could definitely have done this letterpress look right onto my stamped background. You could use maybe a black ink or a darker blue ink to make that pop out a little more. So that was an idea that could have also been done. Another thing you can do if you have more of an intricate design is not use any ink at all and just run it through the system. That will give you a beautiful embossed look. So that is, I guess, kind of to say my clean and simple card for using this really fun happy birthday to you letterpress plate. And as I mentioned earlier, these are kind of a 2-for-1 because you can also use the letterpress plates with your glimmer system. I hope you enjoyed today's quick tutorial, and I'm sure that you'll be seeing more videos using the letterpress plates in the future. Thanks so much for joining.